Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Gursant Singh, and for the last week or so, I have been publishing videos inviting the Chardi Kala Jatha to sit down with myself and other concerned Sikhs at a neutral location here in the UK, say like a Gurdwara, and discuss these anti-Gurmat practices and Sikh Maryada violations that are occurring over at their Yogi Bhajan Dera every day. Now, most of you know that the Chardi Kala Jatha is a Yogi Bhajan organization. Chardi Kala Jatha travels all around the world performing Gurbani Kirtan, and so we know that the Yogi Bhajan organization is trying to create a good image, an image of proper Sikh code of conduct with the rest of the Sikh community. So the problem is that these underlying anti-Gurmat practices that were originally taught by Yogi Bhajan and then continued by the Yogi Bhajan organization are a real cancer within the Yogi Bhajan Dera. I know, because I was there for 30 years. And it was only a few years ago that I discovered, after being in India, that what we were doing there in the Yogi Bhajan organization consisted mostly of anti-Gurmat practices, and we were violating the Sikh Maryada in many ways. So we need to make these changes in the Yogi Bhajan organization. And the Chardi Kala Jatha is in a really good position where they are meeting and communicating with other Sikhs around the world. Now, one of the lead performers in the Chardi Kala Jatha is the Sadasat Simran Singh, who is the chairman of the board for the Yogi Bhajan organization, Sikh Dharma International. They handle all their Yogi Bhajan's philosophical and doctrinal issues, we'll say. So the Sadasat Simran Singh, he is there with the Chardi Kala Jatha, and he'll be here in the month of April performing at all of these different Gurdwaras. So since it looks like that they're not going to contact me, from what I can tell, mostly what has been communicated to me by other Sikhs, I think what would be appropriate is that if Sikhs download these pictures that I put on the internet and then present them to Sadasat Simran Singh and the other members of the Chardi Kala Jatha and get their reaction to them. These are all truthful pictures of what is going on there at the Yogi Bhajan Dera. So I will put a link to these in the comments to this video. I'll show you some of these here in the video, but you can download these pictures and then put them on your smartphone and then just present them and show them to Sadasat Simran Singh and these other members of the Chardi Kala Jatha. I'll also publish a list of where they'll be performing here in the UK while they're here. I think they're here until the middle of April or so. So let's check out these pictures, and then I'll explain more about them. So this first picture you're seeing here is of Sadasat Simran Singh. He is the lead performer there of the Chardi Kala Jatha, and he's receiving a Hindu shawl from this Swami at the Paramatma Ashram. Now this Swami has a long history with Yogi Bhajan Dera. He has performed the Hindu last rites for Yogi Bhajan. I'll show you pictures of him here in a minute. And he was also a close family friend of the Putti family, the Yogi Bhajan family there in Rishikesh. He's very famous. He's been on television many times. We want to ask Sadasat Simran Singh about why he was receiving this shawl and what he was doing there at the Paramatma Ashram. This was an event that was hosted by Gurmukh Khalsa, she calls herself, and She brought many other Yogi Bhajan Dera people there, or 3HO people there, to participate in these Hindu artis and havans, and I would like to find out if Sadhasat Simran Singh participated in those. We know that he received this shawl and that they performed there. I don't know what kind of kirtan they performed there, but it'd be good to find out. I think that would be a legitimate question to ask Sadhasat Simran Singh when he's here in the UK about what he was doing there. I'll also put a link to the article that describes exactly the year and the different time periods that he was there at this Pramatna Kirtan ashram. So this shawl has got Om, Hindu symbols, mantras on it, and so it looks like he's really smiling and gratefully receiving this shawl from this Swami. This Swami, by the way, has got Hindu RSS links. He's hosted the RSS chief there at his ashram many times and participated in marches and different events with the RSS. So here's the schedule of the Chardi Kala Jatha. It's too small to read, but I'll put a photo or link to it at the description of this video or in the comments. So these are the different locations where you could meet with the Chardi Kala Jatha and just ask them what about these anti-Gurmat practices that are occurring over there at the Yogi Bhajan Dera. Now this is a picture of this Gurmutkar and her husband. She calls herself Gurmutkar Khalsa. Ironically, she is not a good example of Khalsa, to say the least. She's been, for years, taking 3HO people to these different events there in Rishikesh, these Hindu events, and performing these Hindu artis there, and leading many people who would want to know about Sikhi into these twisted forms of Sikhi and not showing a correct path and way to practice the Sikh faith. And so we need to ask Chardi Kala Jatha what they're going to do about this, and if they're going to continue to support her, and what they're going to do about it. There's more pictures of her and her husband performing these pujas, and you can see just how many people. She brings thousands of these yoga students and people to Rishikesh, and they all see her as a Sikh, and she's not. To be honest, I don't know why she doesn't change her name to Devi or Kumar. I'm not sure why she continues to say that she's a Sikh, other than maybe she wants to distort and damage the Sikh religion. That's the only thing I can think of. Now here is the same Swami with a group of Yogi Bhajan Dera people. You can see Sanatan Kaur on the other side, on the right side there. She's a famous 3HO singer. There are other members of the Yogi Bhajan Dera board of directors there, and then the same Swami. You can see Gurmutkar there performing Murti Puja with this Shiv Lingam. She's wearing a red tika on her forehead. Yeah, you can see it there in the video, which is the Eye of Shiva, it's called. This is giving reverence and worship to the Hindu god Shiva when you wear that red tika on your forehead like that. And here is the Swami administering the red tika on her forehead. She goes to this ashram several times a year. It's not like a one-off. This is a constant thing for her. And sadly, SikhNet has supported her in the past. You can see an article that was published on SikhNet about her trip to this Edmonton in Canada this Gurmukh Kar's trip to Edmonton. So we need to ask Chardi Kala Jatha if they support this and what they will be doing to change it. Now, this is a Hindu last rite ceremony I mentioned before that was carried out in Rishikesh just after Yogi Bhajan died in 2005. His wife, this Indrajit Kaur Putty, is there right in the center. You can see her there. And she's still a leader in this Yogi Bhajan Dera community. She's going to be teaching at a Sikh camp that the Yogi Bhajan Dera is hosting. And we should ask the Chardi Kala Jatha people just why they support her and why they're letting her teach at this Sikh camp. She's obviously performing these Hindu rituals and participating with this, colluding with this Swami and all of this. They put Yogi Bhajan's ashes in the Ganges River, which kind of shows his allegiances, I think. So here's a picture of Yogi Bhajan himself there on the left, performing a Hindu fire puja, which is the worship of the Hindu gods. Now, the Yogi Bhajan people might say this is an interreligious activity, but this is much more than that. In a true interreligious activity, you wouldn't ask someone from a different faith to perform something that was contrary to their beliefs. But here you've got this Gurmukh Kar and Yogi Bhajan performing these Hindu pujas in their own ashrams, their own locations. And here on the right, you can see Gurmukh Kar when she's brought other Yogi Bhajan Dera people to this ashram in Rishikesh for a Hindu wedding. So this couple is wearing a distort and calls himself Singh Kar and Khalsa. They had a complete Hindu wedding with this Swami. You can see him there. Same Swami, by the way. He gets around there. Now this shows Yogi Bhajan Dera's loyalty to Yogi Bhajan and this cultish attitude they have towards him. They signed a legal agreement a few years back where they will only teach the Sikh religion as taught by Yogi Bhajan. So if there's any conflict between the Sikh Maryada and Gurbani, they'll follow Yogi Bhajan's teachings. And there are many conflicts, obviously, as I'm showing you here. Sikh Maryada, copy of it. I'll go through this pretty quickly because we don't have a lot of time. But you can read more about those in the text, the actual text of the Sikh Maryada. Now this is something that some of you have heard about now at this point. This Gursant Singh, who's a CEO and director over at SikhNet, he does a lot of fundraisers for SikhNet, has published an article where he admits to keeping Yogi Bhajan's dirty fingernails in his Gutka Sahib, or as he calls it, the Nitnam, sacred Nitnam. This is the Gutka Sahib that we all use to recite our banis every day. So he's keeping Yogi Bhajan's dirty fingernails next to Gurbani. This is complete sacrilege and beadbi. We should call him out on this, and we should call out the Chardi Kala Jatha about why they're not standing up and stopping this type of sacrilegious practices by the director of SikhNet. There's the appropriate or pertinent paragraphs here. Showed how Yogi Bhajan gave him these fingernails, and he said they would give him a lot of power. It's just outrageous. And then he puts them in his nitnam. You can see there, kept the nail clippings in the napkin and placed them in my nitnam. This is what Guruka is saying here. Some other violations, I'll go through these pretty quickly. Keeping tantric necklaces. You can see here Hari Jivan's or Yogi Bhajan's right-hand man, this Hari Jivan. They were really into necklaces and jewelry, keeping all kinds of tantric mantras and these necklaces and jewelry for power. This is something that's completely anti-Gurmat and against the secret Maryada. Again, this is talking about this Indrajit Kaur Puri, who's going to be teaching at the Sikh camp that they're hosting in June. So these are all things we can confront the Chardi Kala Jatha with, these questions. That Swami there comes to Espanola, the Yogi Bhajan Dera headquarters, and teaches his Hindu parchar, and they greet him with open arms there. Now these are pictures that were sent to me, and I would like the Chardi Kala Jatha to verify their if they're genuine or not. They're supposedly pictures of this Indrajit Kaur Puri's residence in Los Angeles. I recognize this from the estate in Los Angeles, one of Yogi Bhajan's residences. And so this wife of Yogi Bhajan has been accused by this person of keeping these Hindu murtis there, and has this elaborate setup, this closet with all these Hindu murtis. And I'd like the Chardi Kala Jatha to verify this and let us know if these are genuine or not. There she is performing another, this Indrajit Kaur Puri, or BBG as they call her, performing more Hindu pujas there in Rishikesh, wearing a tika. So Yogi Bhajan used astrology to give us names, used his tantric numerology as he called it. This is against the secret Maryada. You can read about that. There's Murti Puja going on there at the Yogi Bhajan Dera. You can see there's Murti Puja going on in Yogi Bhajan as well. They do yoga in the Darbar of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji there in Espanola and at other Yogi Bhajan Dera locations. This is a mural which is really sacrilegious, which is there at the Yogi Bhajan Dera. I'm sure most of you have seen these pictures. Here are pictures of them prostrating at the Yogi Bhajan's death place, which is again against the secret Maryada. Yogi Bhajan taught to meditate on his photo, which they call this Guru Yoga, and his Khalsa Council, they call it the Khalsa Council, very presumptuous to say the least, because it's only Yogi Bhajan members, actually performed this Guru Yoga instead of an Ardas. It says, in closing the meetings, we did the Tritakam meditation together. Members shared how the Sri Singh Sahib touched our lives. They call him the Sri Singh Sahib Yogi Bhajan. So you can read it. This is the newsletter they sent out about that. So again, they keep Yogi Bhajan's fingernails and other garments as relics, try to sell them. They keep Yogi Bhajan's photos in the Gurdwara. Now this is an issue too that I think Sadhguru Simran Singh should address. They are proposing to build a 10-foot high bronze murti of Yogi Bhajan and put it at his death place there. They're going to spend about $100,000, they say. So this is something we want to ask Sadhguru Simran Singh about. There's other murtis there, the Yogi Bhajan Dera, dancing around in the Darbar City Guru Granth Sahib Ji as well. Now this is one more issue I wanted to bring up here before we close. How they do this Hindu mantra every morning. And they call it the Vayanti mantra. This is a part of the Aquarian sadhana the Yogi Bhajan had everyone do there in the ashram. So we want to ask Sadhguru Simran Singh if they're continuing this and when they're going to stop, basically. Anyway, call me. You can call me in the UK, 0737 560 8265, and I'll answer your questions. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.